Cyril Ramaphosa sat quietly in parliament as lawmakers listened carefully, but the atmosphere quickly changed when Julius Malema stood up to speak. The moment he began talking, everyone knew this was not going to be an ordinary speech. His voice was strong, his message was direct, and his target was clear. Malema looked at the leadership of South Africa and said something that immediately caught the attention of the entire nation. He told President Ramaphosa that after years of leadership, there was very little that ordinary people could point to as real success. He questioned whether the promises that were made to South Africans had truly been fulfilled. Before we continue, if you enjoy honest news stories explained in simple English, please take a moment to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you never miss any important updates. Now, what made this moment so powerful was not only the words themselves, it was the frustration behind them. Malema spoke as if he was speaking on behalf of many citizens who wake up every morning hoping for a better future. He spoke about young people searching for jobs, families trying to make ends meet, and communities that still face daily challenges. As he continued speaking, the chamber became more focused. Every sentence seemed to increase the tension in the room. Supporters of Malema listened carefully, while supporters of Ramaphosa prepared themselves for what would come next. The South African economy has faced many difficult moments over the past few years. People have talked about unemployment, rising living costs, and concerns about service delivery. These issues affect ordinary citizens every day. When politicians stand up in parliament, many citizens expect them to provide answers and solutions. Malema used this opportunity to remind Parliament about those concerns. He argued that leadership should be measured by results. He suggested that citizens are less interested in speeches and more interested in seeing visible improvements in their daily lives. For many viewers watching from home, this was more than politics. It was a discussion about real life. It was about whether governments are doing enough to improve opportunities for ordinary people. The debate quickly became one of the most talked about political moments. Everyone wanted to know how Ramaphosa would respond. Would he defend his record? Would he explain the challenges his administration has faced? Or would he simply allow his achievements to speak for themselves? As the discussion continued, many people remember the high hopes that surrounded Ramaphosa when he first became president. At that time, many South Africans believed he could help guide the country toward a stronger future. Expectations were very high. People wanted economic growth. They wanted jobs. They wanted stability. They wanted progress. But leadership is never easy. Every president inherits challenges from the past, while also facing new problems that emerge along the way. This is why political debates often become so intense. One side points to the difficulties that still exist, while the other side points to progress that has already been made. Malema was determined to keep the focus on the challenges. He spoke about communities still waiting for change. He spoke about young graduates searching for opportunities. He spoke about families who feel that life has become more difficult instead of easier. The remarkable thing about Malema is his ability to turn a parliamentary debate into a national conversation. Whether people agree with him or disagree with him, they usually pay attention when he speaks. He has built a reputation as one of the most energetic and outspoken political figures on the African continent. As he continued his speech, he challenged the idea that enough progress had been achieved. He argued that leadership should be judged not by promises but by outcomes. His message was simple. If citizens still face major struggles, then leaders must answer difficult questions. Meanwhile, supporters of President Ramaphosa have a different view. They argue that the country has faced extraordinary challenges over the years. They point to global economic difficulties, the impact of the pandemic, and other pressures that affected nations around the world. According to this view, progress should not only be measured by what remains to be done, but also by the obstacles that have already been overcome. This difference in opinion is what makes the political landscape so interesting. Two groups can look at the same situation and reach completely different conclusions. As the debate unfolded, one thing became very clear. South Africans care deeply about the future of their country. They want leaders who can deliver opportunities, improve public services, and create an environment where people can succeed. The discussion inside Parliament reflected those hopes and expectations, and while politicians debated, ordinary citizens continued their daily routines. Some were going to work, some were searching for work, some were running businesses, some were studying for a better future. All of them, in one way or another, are connected to the decisions made by leaders. That is why moments like this attract so much attention. They are not just political events, they are conversations about the future. As Malema finished one section of his speech, many people wondered what would happen next. Would this confrontation change public opinion? Would it strengthen support for the opposition? Would it push the government to respond more aggressively to criticism? Those questions remained unanswered, but the debate itself had already achieved something important. It had forced the nation to once again examine its direction and ask whether enough is being done to meet the expectations of citizens. Please remember to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and share this story with your friends. Your support helps us continue bringing important African news stories in a way that everyone can understand. The political battle was far from over. In fact, this moment was only the beginning of an even larger conversation about leadership, accountability, and the future of South Africa. What happened next would add even more drama to an already explosive situation.